Hey John, my name is Valerie. You have been assigned to me. I am going to be your therapist. How about that? Now, before you came to my office, you met with an intake counselor and you went over what we call the informed consent. Do you remember doing that? Okay, so is there anything in this consent form that you don't understand that you might need some clarification? Okay, are you sure? So you're sure about the relationship you and I are supposed to develop? And I see you filled out the emergency contact information. And this is your grandmother, and this is her phone number. The cancellation policy. You know, you have to let us know if you're not going to make it. There are no guarantees. Just because you're starting this, you might not get the results that you're looking for. But it does not mean that there won't be any improvement, okay? Hopefully. That's if we work together and you're willing to work hard. You know, there are some risks, is explained here. You might be diagnosed with something that we have to address. There is confidentiality here. You know what that means, right? And of course, there are certain things that we have to report, especially if it's an abusive situation with a child or an elderly person. And we have some ethical guidelines, and if you feel that I've breached any of them, all you have to do is go to my supervisor and talk to her about what happened, and they can direct you for the next step to be taken, okay? There are some times when I'll have to consult with another colleague to get some support, some information on how to guide you through this process. And of course, fees, charges, and how we keep your financial records and things. And then there's also a section on here about the termination process, meaning when we get to the end of these sessions, how we're going to wrap it up with conclusive goals and stuff that you can continue after this. Okay? All right, Jonathan. Now, tell me a little bit about yourself and include in it what brought you to this counseling service.
Grew up in Emerson, Maryland, and went to, when I was in elementary school, had to deal with certain situations, like bullying. Like, I didn't know how to handle that at first, until about 5th grade, where I was taking some karate classes which weren't relevant. I don't think it was relevant to the bullying, but I started to fight back. But then, as I got older, I learned that violence doesn't solve anything like that. Or doesn't solve anything. Yeah. And so, I would just turn whatever anybody said to me back on them. And they lost all control of the situation.
So, give me an example of how you would turn their words around so that it affected them and not yourself.
So, like, somebody would say I was fat or something. I would say, well, at least I don't get cold. And they'd be like, oh, okay, that's a good point. And then they leave me alone.
Okay. So now let's progress a little further. So right now, are you still in school?
Yes.
So what year? You're in college now?
Yes.
And what year is this for you?
3rd or 4th, like that.
Okay. So are you close to graduating?
No.
You want to tell me a little bit about that?
I'm only halfway through my credits, something like that. I don't have all the credits I need. I'm only about halfway done, so just changed my major. So
So
yeah,
do you feel good about where you are as far as your progression through school?
I guess so.
Okay. You guess so. What does that mean?
I guess. I don't know.
Would you would you have liked to have been further along? Or you moving at the pace that, is comfortable to you?
Well, it would have been nice to be a little further, but it's whatever. Do what I gotta do. If you get out the time, I'm supposed to get out.
Mm-hmm. You do what you have to do. And that would be, what are you doing?
Do schoolwork.
The schoolwork. Okay. So tell me, what brought you to Exodus Counseling Services today?
Well, even though I did such a good job deflecting any hostile attacks towards my person, it still took a toll on my self-esteem. So my self-esteem isn't all that great, but it kind of fluctuates. Some days it's up, some days it's down. I don't know if that's a normal thing or it could be an issue or something like that.
Okay, so you would like to work on developing tools or strategies to help you increase your self-esteem. Self-actualization, we call it, to, get a firm definition of who you are, defining who you are, and some convictions about who you are. Yes? So, do you have any ideas, any goals, anything that is really pressing right now? Any issues, self-esteem issues? Like, is there any one area where your self-esteem is kind of like not so high, your confidence is not so high? Is there one area that we can begin to address to help build your self-esteem? Hopefully we address this one, then we can build on that, and then we'll reflect in other areas of your life.
Well, I guess mm, I
Take your
guess
time.
the way I'm built physically, like I'm pretty okay with it, but most people aren't, and it kind of bothers me that they tell me to be myself, and I'm being myself, but then they want me to change all this stuff, and I'm like, why can't you people like me for me, and not what you want me to look like, because of the media distorts your perception of what people should look like.
Okay. So, you are looking for ways to help other people accept you just the way you are.
Yep.
You would like people not to focus on your appearance and focus more on the inside, your heart.
Yes.
Okay. Do you think that the what people are we exactly? Who are we talking about? Your family, your friends,
Everybody.
everybody. Okay. Well, do you think that there's a genuine concern about your health going on here, or you think they're just after you because your body shape is not that of a 6 foot 240 lean mean